Hi there, Richard Matharoo here, and in today's show I'm going to share a couple of tips with you that are really going to help you in your prospecting, especially if you're getting people saying, yeah sure, send me some information, and you send it over and then they're nowhere to be found. Really frustrating, isn't it? Have you ever found when you put some time into somebody then they're just not there to follow up with, or they haven't taken it seriously and watched what you've sent them? Let's help you address that right now with a couple of tips. Stay tuned for today's show. Okay, welcome back. So in this quick video, what I'm going to do is give you a couple of challenges or mistakes that you might be making, and then how you can kind of overcome that. So as mentioned, you're going to get a lot more people taking what you send them seriously, actually watching it and being there so that you can follow up with them and help bring them into your team if it's a good fit for the both of you. And that kind of brings me to my first point. I know it's difficult if you're in a really tough financial spot. I've been there myself to kind of think, right, I need a sign-up, I need to bring someone into your team. But what you've got to be careful of and mindful of, if you're too over the top, if you're too much like, I'll take anybody, if you're like, please look at this, or any of that type of language, you're going to find it becomes less and less and less appealing, and less and lower and lower and lower on your prospect's priority list to take a look at what you've got. You've got to inject some scarcity into what you're doing for your prospect. It's the most powerful tool in any kind of sale, in any kind of making someone make a decision. So if you just send something out there and say, well, get back to me when you feel like it, and I'm happy to do anything with anybody in terms of joining my team, would you want to look at something like that? If I sent you a link and said, hey, check this out whenever you've got time, it's nothing too important, but I'd appreciate it if you did. I've sent it to 1,000 people, look at it when you get a chance. Not really appealing. When you put a time limit on something, when you actually be a little bit bolder, and although it might not be your character right now, let's step up and turn you into someone worth following, inject some scarcity. You know, insist on an appointment. If I send you this link, are you going to watch it, and will you be there at 2 p.m? Otherwise I'm not going to bother sending it out. I'm looking for serious people. You know, have something about you that makes them think, well, why should I? Well, maybe I should watch this. I'm curious. Always raise curiosity. And so do that. Definitely start to ask a few more questions, as though you're maybe not interviewing the prospect, but kind of going towards that style of, please take a look at what I've got, as opposed to, you know what you've got is strong, am I willing to share it with you? That's a whole different language and mindset. Second point, second solution I want to give you is, look at the speed in which you're trying to get information across to them. You know, have you ever tried to just think, when you start a conversation, offline or online, how can I get this around to my business? Or how can you get this link over to them, or get them to this webinar? If you're thinking like that, you're going to rush, you're going to push, and when you push, prospects and people push back. Think of what you do. If somebody's trying to pressure or force an opinion on you, you tend to reject it, even whether you maybe agree with it, because you just don't like the way they've delivered it. The delivery of your prospecting of that information is key. The company video, even if it's a fantastic one, won't do everything for you. You've got to position it correctly. And if your prospect feels that you're trying to push that information on them, they're going to push back, and they're not going to want to take a look. Their resistance is going to increase. So don't think, oh, if I can get 50 links out today, that's fantastic. Think about how many links or how many presentations you're going to actually get watched. Very, very different. Do you see that? People sitting in people's inboxes, or actually wanting hungry for them to watch it straight away. Big difference. Okay guys, so take these points on board, definitely inject them into your business. It will make a big difference, and most of all, it's going to save you a lot of wasted time putting into prospects that then when you follow up with, you just feel like you've wasted that whole conversation because they never even took a look. So whatever you're doing guys, go and create a day and a life that counts, and I'm going to see you on the next video really soon.